Welcome back, people, to another episode of the Smokehouse Podcast. It's your boy Sam and Joe, and we are here to talk about the NBA once again. Specifically, we're here to talk about the NBA Cup and all of the going-ons and happenings around the NBA and with the NBA Cup. So, Joe, do you want to get us started? Talk about that boy out west.
Yeah, man. Minutes restriction. On a minutes restriction. After being out a month, his last game
Like it mattered.
It was on the 14th, I believe, of November against the Warriors and a loss. He's then been out, I think, with a calf strain.
Yeah.
And in only 20 minutes, Victor Wembanyama put up 22 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks, and a steal. 9 of 12 from the free throw line, 6 of 11 from the field, and he got his team to the finals of the NBA Cup. And diving into that, forget the numbers alone in 20 minutes is insane.
Ridiculous.
But the real story behind it is Victor Wembanyama's been talking the shit. Victor Wembanyama has been popping his collar. Victor Wembanyama knows who he is. And I think there's a confidence that I think you see it in players. Like, I think Kobe had it, Bron had it, all the best had it. But I think it just comes from knowing the work you've put in. You comfortably know what you can do, no one else can do.
Yeah.
Because in the Malika Andrews interview, which led up to this game, which you can go and see if it's on Twitter, it's on YouTube, you can go and see that. Malika Andrews asked him, who's the best player in the world? Wemby said, offensively, it's Jokic. But in total, he would say Giannis or Shea. But he said, when I come back, I think it's me. To say that, yeah, mad, but we love it. To then come back and have the impact he had on that game against a team who was on a 16-game winning streak. OKC had lost one game the entire season up until that game.
24-1, second best start of all time.
They won a 16-game win streak. Wemby came back in 20 minutes and said, yeah, I'm not only talking shit, I'm walking the walk and I'm talking the talk. And I love to see it.
Yeah.
I love to see it. Honestly, I love to see it. And yeah, man, I just think we may be getting a rivalry here. I think the internet has tried to build one of him in Chet. I low-key think he actually doesn't like Chet.
I think, do you know what it is? I don't think it's personal with Chet. I think he resents the fact that he got put in those discussions.
Yes, I think it's more like he's not on my level.
Yeah, and I'm going to show you.
Yeah, it's like
I'm going to show you every single time.
Like, I'm irritated that we're in the conversation together.
Yeah.
And I heard Dirk, shout out to Amazon guy, I think it's the best it's the best of the NBA.
Yeah, that's great. It's great content.
It's elite. Dirk was like, he feels like it's a bit too swaggy of Wemby to just dismiss Chet like that. It's a bit too dismissive of what Chet's done. But I love it, man. I love it. And then to do that, and then to do what he done in the game, even though in 20 minutes it's one of the most impactful 20 minutes I've ever watched from an NBA player.
Even loud. Loud 22.
A loud one. And even had his moment with Chet where Chet was trying to get a move on the block. It wasn't really working.
He tried to hit that post fade.
Yeah, it wasn't working. He was clamping him up. Wemby got that shit out there. Do you know what
it is? He didn't even just contest it because he was already right there. You could visibly see he tried his hardest to block that shot right back in his face. He was like, "You are not getting a bucket on me at all." Because I think because earlier on, Wemby had basically done the same thing on the baseline where he did a turnaround on Chet, and then he fallen over. So I think Chet tried to be like, all right, cool, you give me one, I give you one. Wemby said, hell no, brother, you don't even get a chance. 7-2 or nothing, you don't get a chance.
His defensive impact is you can't really put it to what you just have to watch. Like it's just nasty, man. There's not much you can do with it. There's not much you can do. And I love the way like you can see how much more vocal he is now. Even after he blocked Chet, you just straight away say, yo, Fox, you get him. I'm in the back line. The way he's navigating the defensive schemes and things, he just lets you know we all know he's the man there, but I think he's taking on the role. He's growing into being the star.
Yeah.
his version of whatever that is. And then obviously honourable mentions to Vassell, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. I think he's had a good last couple of weeks. I think there was a bit of like, oh, is Vassell going to be the odd man out? Who knows what's going to happen in the future? Because even how good San Antonio are right now, they still have a lot of room to grow.
Yeah.
Even individually, and they have picks and cap space, and they can do things moving forward. So I think everyone's kind of playing my GM with the Spurs and some of their players. But he done well again, having a great sophomore year. Stephon Castle, 22 points, clamping up. Stephon Castle is just clamping up, bro. Clamping up. And I just love his two-way ability. 22 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Gets to the rim whenever he likes. It was a good game to watch. Him and Dylan Harper just getting to the rim. Obviously, I've already said my bad about De'Aaron Fox, but yeah, De'Aaron Fox again. He's an elite player, and we're seeing him on an elite team, and he's not having to do too much, even though we know he can do too much if you need him to.
And I think that's the difference.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference for a guy like Fox, where we probably overlooked that at the start of the season, where we've seen him for the last few years as the number one, whereas like he's not the number one. He knows he's not the number one. And I think to what you said about Wemby knows that this is his team. He knows that the team will go as far as he takes them. And so he's more willing to step into that. And also you can't overlook the fact that he spent a good chunk of the summer with Kevin Garnett. That has to play a role in the way he's talking, not just on the court, but off the court as well. Because there's no way Garnett's letting this guy walk around thinking you're not the best in the world, because otherwise what are we doing here? And to go to what you said about Kobe and Bron and players like that, one thing that I always like to say or think of is confidence is competence. Like if you don't put that work in, if you're not trying your hardest to be the best, and if you then start talking about being the best, that's arrogance. And we've seen this because we said before we started recording about the Malika Andrews, Taylor Rooks effect, where man get on a pod and they start talking out the side of their mouth. They start talking outside of their neck or whatever. And it's like, like you see in their eyes, like, you're not that guy. But you're saying this now because you want to be perceived a certain way. Wemby isn't trying to convince anyone of anything. He's just saying what he feels. Because this guy was training in the Tibetan monks like he was Batman. And then he was training with KG, running up bleachers, and you know what I mean. This guy's doing 60-minute ankle mobility routine so that if he rolls his ankle, he will just roll right back. Like he's been putting in so much work, so consistently to put on weight, to strengthen his body, everything else. And you can imagine what impact it will be for you to lose a good chunk of last season to an injury that you really have no control over. Where you got a blood clot, like how much of that has played a role in like now when I am on the court, I need to maximize my time because it's not promised at the end of the day. And you can just see it in the way he's approached this season and coming back and having that game where that was a loud 22. And for anyone listening that doesn't know what we mean by a loud 22, bruv, it's when you feel every single bucket, you feel every single possession, and that's what he did.
And sometimes I'm not the biggest fan of how I feel stat heavy we are now, which stats are important, but I think stats should back up what you see. But plus minus is one of those stats that can be a bit skewed, but in 20 minutes, his plus minus was plus 21.
Yeah.
Plus 21. That's an insane plus minus
it's ridiculous.
For playing that many minutes, taking that many shots.
And I think with a stat like plus minus, for anyone that wants to look at that, like when a team blows out another team, someone's plus minus might be 20 something, and it's like, all right, cool, but you're on the court for the blowout. This was a 2-point game. It was a 2-point game. It came down to the wire, literally. So for you to be on the court and basically when you were on the court, it wasn't close, is effectively what that plus minus is saying. That's the impact that you have. That speaks volumes. That speaks volumes, as opposed to it being a 15-point win and the other 21 plus minus. Like, no, when he was on the court, they were dominating. They were dominating, and it makes me wonder whether like he's just gonna be their kryptonite for OKC. Where we look around the league and we're like, what's anybody gonna be able to do about him? Even the Nuggets with a Jokic, where like he has the ability offensively to be unstoppable, but then defensively to cause unspeakable problems for them. And it will be interesting moving forward. I love the rivalry. I love it being organic. and I love the internet playing into it as well. And I love the fact that it's player to player, it's going to be very one-sided, but team to team might be a different story.
Yeah, man, it's just nice to see because this is NBA culture, man.
Yeah.
It is ingrained in the NBA culture. This is what it is, man. Like, Bird needed Magic, Magic needed Bird. You know, Bron having adversaries, even if they weren't as vicious as this, but having people like KD, Steph, Kawhi, whoever, just in and around there to be like, yo, let's compete, you know? It's fun. It adds something. And if it's like, maybe there's a bit of animosity added to it, why not? You know? It's just about competing at the end of the day. And I think with the NBA, where sometimes we get a bit complacent with the game is because there's so many games and it's why it doesn't matter. This is the thing that makes a regular season game matter, because it's like, oh, there's some animosity here. This game means something. And it's like, that's the kind of things you get in other sports, because I think there's less games. So the games mean more. Like, even like college basketball, there's less games.
Yeah.
You know, so it adds a bit more to it. And I think
every game matters.
If you can get a rivalry, man, it's going to make it so much better. Because even now, if you go to like last night, the Lakers played the Suns. Say what you want about Dillon Brooks, but the reason that everyone is up in arms, or even positive or negative, whether you hate him or love him, Dillon Brooks is adding a lot to the NBA right now. And I think Memphis miss him.
Absolutely.
You want a bit of bite. You want a bit of bite in your team. And I think long term, looking at the Spurs, I think they've got a good setup to where OKC and the Spurs could be a thing for a little bit. I think both teams are young enough.
They're in the same division, aren't they?
Yeah. Both teams are talented enough. Both teams are athletic enough and defensive-minded enough to where, you know, this could be a thing. And I was watching, I forget the name, but Austin Rivers has a podcast, really good podcast, actually. And he was talking about Jeremy Sohan. Obviously, he's one of the British guys who got out playing in the NBA. Shout out Jeremy Sohan. I think he's from Milton Keynes. He was saying how Jeremy Sohan should be the new version of Dennis Rodman for the Spurs. I think if you add a player like that to the Spurs team long term, if he's willing to sacrifice and become the Dillon Brooks, and I think he's got it in him already. He's had little things in the NBA where it's like you've got the bite to add to this team, and I think he's got the frame to be a guard 1 through 5 kind of guy. If he can sacrifice and say, I want to become the Draymond, the Dillon Brooks, the Rodman kind of annoying, not this Brooks, because this Dillon Brooks is apparently a flipping first option. But I think, man, the Spurs have so much to where OKC and Spurs long term can be something to where it's like, we got them on a Christmas Day game, but for the foreseeable future, that's the thing. It could potentially, and they're in the same division. So it's a thing where it's like, man, this could be our Warriors Cavs, you know? You can only hope. So yeah, man, it's fun, man. It's fun. And it made the game super, super, super intense. And in the regular season, that's what you can wish for. So I have to give hats off to Adam Silver, man. NBA Cup. I enjoyed it anyway, because I think obviously we're being from the UK. Yeah. We're used to cup competitions. Like things inside the season, meaning things before just obviously winning the whole thing at the end. So yeah, man, I think this is a W. I think the fans were a lot more engaged this time than previous years. It was a bit like, yeah, these guys don't really care about basketball. The fans weren't really engaging. It was a lot better. It was a good experience. It was a good watch, man. Yeah. And I think it's only something that will grow with time. Like, again, it's not normal for American audiences, but like I always thought it was a good idea, especially with the way it tied into the regular season anyway. For sure. So yeah, I think it made a lot of sense. And again, games like this just validate its existence. For sure. And the more we have competitive teams winning it, the better it looks moving forward. But yeah, on that note, who you got winning it? Because obviously we've got the final. We've got the final on Wednesday. I think so, yeah. On Wednesday. It's that Wednesday our time, yeah? Wednesday UK time. Well, actually, yeah, I guess it's
Yeah, 1:30 in the morning. Knicks Spurs. Who do you reckon takes it?
I like what the Knicks have been doing. I think I've spoken to some of their fans and they're not actually enjoying the Mike Brown stuff. But I think it's going to help them long term, being able to get offense from other places. I'm going with Spurs at Wemby, man. I'm sorry. Do you know what it is? I was thinking about it and I think, okay, the Knicks are probably a mature team for sure. But I just think, and I thought Wemby, I know they're not in the Garden, but Wemby's had a couple moments when the moments matter. Like I think he's got a big performance in the Garden against New York.
He's averaging 32 against New York for his career.
Yeah, and he's just come back in Vegas in a final.
Yeah, I think he's gonna want it.
I think he might, and
I
hope he's not on a minutes restriction. Even if I just can't see them, I can't see it being a good game, close game, and they're able to keep him on the bench. You know what I mean? I can't really see that happening. But yeah, I'm going with Wemby and them Spurs, man.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to bet against.
It's hard.
It's really hard to bet against.
I also feel like the Spurs don't have anybody in their honestly, their first 8-man rotation, who I believe is a full-on defensive liability. Like, I don't think Vassell is, you could say maybe, Keldon Johnson is very athletic. I don't think he is. Harrison Barnes is doing a great job over there. I just don't see, and I love Luke Cornett. That was a great pickup, Luke Cornett. Whereas on the Knicks, I see a glaring defensive liability, and he's their best player. Yeah. So I just think if you're talking about attacking the rim with ease, which is what the Spurs have been doing all season, I think it's going to be easy when you got Cat there. I don't know if he's even fit right now. I think he might be injured. I don't know when he's coming back. Yeah, I think matchup-wise, I think this is probably better for the Spurs.
Yeah. And again, the Knicks aren't a big team as well, and the Spurs are a very good rebounding team. So even when they don't necessarily pass the ball as well, they're going to be able to create a lot of second chance points. And just for when he is on the floor, for however long that is, whether it's 20 minutes again, whether it's 25, going inside is not going to be desirable.
It's not, man.
And for a player like Brunson, it's going to make it tricky to be as effective, especially where the Spurs can throw so many bodies at him.
I think they've got a couple guys that they can throw at him to make it a bit tougher for him to have. But this is Jalen Brunson, so he's probably going to get his anyway. I hope it's a close game. That's what I do hope. I hope it's not a blowout. I hope it's a close game either way. I hope it goes down to the wire. I hope we even get OT maybe. But I'm going to go with the Spurs. I think they will get that one out of the bag.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm definitely with you on that one. So there's another player that we wanted to talk about, because with the Spurs are a good example of building through the draft, being tactical, building a good team through effective scouting. And I suppose with the second apron, that's become the trend around the league. Obviously, you've got the defending champs, OKC, set up for a good few years with the way they've built. And the Pelicans have also tried to do that. However,
shout out Joe Dumars, man. Pistons legend.
Joe Dumars, continuing in the trend of making bad executive decisions as a bad boy Piston. Not as bad as Isaiah Thomas, mind you. That he was atrocious. But Joe, have you ever heard of a protected first round pick, brother? Like,
do you think the trade gets done without it being protected? I feel like they would have taken it regardless.
I think you do get that done with a protected first round pick, bro.
Yeah, man.
I think you do. Like, you're giving up. You're basically giving up. You could have basically said, all right, cool. Here's what pick was it that they gave up? What did they move up from? They moved up from what, 23? You move up from 23 to 13, cool. And I know I wasn't going to pick him anyway. And they had the 16th pick anyway. So you're moving up, cool. You could have said, all right, cool. Here's the 13th. Here's, a protected first round pick, right? And if it doesn't bang this year, then we defer it to next year.
And just for anyone listening here, you might not know what protected first round pick is. Obviously, in the draft, get your picks. The first round draft picks are valuable. First round lottery, which is the top 12 or 13, I believe,
13.
is even more valuable. So when you trade those picks, you can put protections to where if they fall between a certain number, you can defer that pick and give them a different pick instead. So what the Atlanta Hawks have done, sorry, not Atlanta Hawks, what the Pelicans did, they're bad. They've been bad. They've traded their pick for this upcoming draft class, which is setting up to be a generational draft class. Again,
generational.
We've got the likes of AJ DeBouncer, Cameron Boozer, Peterson. It's setting up to be a type of draft class that people believe you find your franchise player in. So, yeah. You traded away that unprotected pick. Yeah, so Darren Peterson's in here, AJ DeBouncer's in here, Cameron Boozer's in here, Nate Ament, Caleb Wilson. We got some really good looking picks that could maybe change franchises, yeah? And you gave that pick away, and the Pelicans are currently, at time of recording, the 15th of December, they are currently bottom of the Western Conference, 5-22. They are second. They might be the worst in the NBA because I need to look at win percentage. They've got an 18% win percentage. So they're the second worst team in the NBA right now, with the Wizards only being below them. So obviously it's flat odds, but they are basically they could land anywhere between 1 and 2. But maybe
the season was to end today, they'd have a top 5 pick.
Yeah, season ends today, top 5 pick for sure. Possibility of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't know where.
Their odds for number 1 are like 35%.
Okay,
but again, it's the type of draft where like 1 through 5 you can't really miss.
It's cash money.
It's cash money.
So, but now let me play devil's advocate. Listen,
Go ahead.
As a big boy myself, a big boy that when I played, passing was one of my favorite things to do. Derek Queen is like that. Derek Queen is like that. This is Blokic. This is Black Jokic. This is Black Jokic with a bit of Boogie Cousins, with a bit listen, this kid can ball, and it's an uncoachable thing. It's his feel for the game, his rebounding, but again, just to put it into perspective, Derek Queen is the fastest center in 50 years to 100 assists. This is it's early on, but this might be generational. So then if you're Joe Dumas, yeah, and again, I want to look at where everyone was picking the 2025 draft.
So can I play, before you play devil's advocate?
Go on. While I
play devil's prosecutor? Because I hear what you're saying about Derek Queen, but they had the number 7 pick. Now Jeremiah Fizz is having a good season. He's nice.
Yeah.
However,
you should have picked him there,
bro. You could have just picked him there. Did you need to have the number 7 and the number 13 when you could have just picked him at number 7?
Okay.
Like I get he fell in the combine because of the combine. He didn't perform too well in the combine. But like, you pick Jeremiah Fizz. Jeremiah Fizz is nice. Like, he's playing good basketball this season. 15.7, 3.1 assists. 1.4 blocks. Decent shooting percentage of around 45%. Again, for a rookie, that's cool. Those are cool numbers. Those are real cool numbers. I mean, mind you, not to blame him, but it's still contributing to winning basketball because they have only one. I said not to blame him. I'm not blaming him, but I'm just saying.
Okay. Again, let me add a bit of devil's advocate in there. So nobody picked Derek Queen before he got picked. So I don't have to look at the Bulls, Noah Senge, because the Bulls are just the Bulls. Number 14 and 15, those picks were for the Spurs and OKC. Not saying they would have picked them, but God, if somehow Derek Queen landed on a team with Wemby or in OKC's hands, I don't think that would have been anything good for the NBA.
But bro,
so shout out Joe Dumas for that. Now, to talk like, okay, seriously here, it's an incredible mismanagement of assets. It just is. It's bad GMing. However, the kid is balling and the kid looks cold.
He's great. But to play devil's prosecutor again.
I've never heard of devil's prosecutor, by the way, but
I just made it up. But would you rather Derek Queen on OKC or AJ DeManso? Because
yeah, okay.
We have to remember all of the picks, bro.
I can't blame Joe Dumas for the Clippers.
You can't blame Joe Dumas for the Clippers, but I can blame Joe Dumas for this, because I reckon you still get the trade done if you just say, yeah, protected lottery. Because what was the expectation here? Okay, Zion's lost weight, so we're gonna be pretty good this season. Was that the expectation? Did we think we don't need to protect the pick because Zion? That's what we were still hanging our hopes on in 2025.
You have to ask Joe Dumas. I'm only here to defend Derek Queen. I'm only here to defend Derek Queen, if I'm being honest with you.
No, I'm not even here to attack Derek Queen. I like Derek Queen. He's having a great season. You know, he's in the running for Rookie of the Year, which again nobody would have thought of going into the season.
Shout out to the flag, by the way, for
he's stepping up,
snatching that shit back.
Stepping all the way up. Like he's growing into that. Like I thought he would. To be fair, he just needed time to adjust to having the ball in his hands that much. But like, that's bad GMing, man. It's bad. It's bad GMing.
It's terrible.
Like, protect. I think that just needs to be. Unless you're trading for a player who is not maybe generational, not has potential. If you will have to be trading for talent right now to be giving up unprotected picks, I think that needs to be like a unwritten rule.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, for me right now, if I was like a GM and it's like, oh, I can get any job, Atlanta Hawks is the best job in the NBA right now.
Yeah, it's a great position to be in.
Because if you're Atlanta Hawks, you've got your guy who's emerged now. It's clear that moving forward, this is about Jalen Johnson. You've got an all-NBA level talent, all-star talent in Trae Young, who's perfect age to either bring back to this team or trade and get more picks back. You've guaranteed got a top 5 pick coming. You going into next season, I've either got AJ DeBouncer, Cameron Boozer, Peterson, whoever I think is best for my team. I'm going to have a good shot of adding an elite level future star to this team, or add that to a package to get somebody else. Because imagine a trade package now of whoever we get in the draft plus Trae Young to add to this team. Yeah, man. Listen, man. Whoever's a GM over there, let me go find out. I don't think it's Landry Fields. Is it Landry Fields? Who's a GM over at the Atlanta Hawks? Whoever it is over there, great job. Great job. You're doing great.
Onsi Salah.
Yeah, big up you. Onsi, you're doing a great job. They fired Landry Fields 2025. Great decision. Yeah, this guy's balling. Yeah, this guy's Onsi. Well done. But yeah, man, it's insane from Landry Fields. It's insane. One more person I wanted to discuss quickly is a guy you disrespected on one of our first episodes, who doesn't need any disrespect. His team needs a lot of disrespect. I can't believe I'm saying this. I don't really mean it because I was there when they were destroying the league. Free Steph Curry, man.
How did I disrespect Steph Curry?
You said he wasn't a top 10 player. You said he's only there for his gravity of his shot.
I put him in my top 10. He was 10th.
Well, disrespectful.
What did you have him like 8th?
Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me.
You had him 2
It's
spots
not
above
about
me.
me. Let's move on.
Don't piss me off. Hold on. I had him 10th. I had him 10th. I've still got my list. I've still got the list. I had him 10th.
But Stephen Curry dropped 48 points last night.
He did.
16 of 26 from the field, 12 of 90 from, and they lost.
Oh.
The night before that, he dropped 39 points, 14 of 28, 6 of 15 from 3. And I believe they lost again. The Golden State Warriors, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know where they are. I don't know I don't know where they move from here, because they have the same problems that they've had the teams the last 2-3 seasons. Number one, what we do with Kuminga, we don't know. Number two, now they've got a problem with Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, they've now signed up to pay him a shit ton of money, and you're getting the similar problems Jimmy Butler's had for the last couple of seasons. It's like, well, he doesn't really care in the regular season. That's what it's perceived as. It could be something different. Maybe he's just, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just his game. Jimmy Butler's not somebody that forces buckets, but then he's paid like somebody with a higher input. So you're paying Jimmy Butler, you signed him for a 2-year, $121 million extension, which was signed in February.
Why would you give him that much money?
So, which means the 25-26 season, you're paying him $54 million, and then about $56.8 million in the 26-27 season. Yeah. And he's just, he's not giving you that, he's just not giving you that value.
And they're 13 and 14.
Yeah. So they're stuck between nowhere and nowhere. But in my opinion, I just think this is karma for what you were doing to the league those years. Because yeah.
And for exiling Jordan Poole.
Yeah, that's
Jordan Poole, he decided to become Unk FC. I mean, what they chose Draymond.
I understand, but I just feel like choosing Draymond and then not giving Clay what he wants. So you should just kept it all together then. Yeah. Keep breaking up some of it is stupid, but that shit happens in the NBA. But free Steph Curry, I guess, or whatever. His shoe game's been nuts since he left the Under Armour. He's wearing all types of shit. I saw him in some cold trainers the other day. I can't remember what they were, man, but he's having fun on his feet at least, because the Warriors are it's kind of sad, man.
It's kind of sad, man.
It's very sad to see, and he's doing all, and it's what I think is sadder about this generation. The negative that comes with these guys being so good so late in their career is, well, we still want them to compete. But normally, when you're at this stage of your career, you're not
ready to pack it in.
Yeah. So it's like, if we're seeing you on a, like, for instance, Russ right now, yeah, he's on a bad team. I'm happy he's here more than anything, because people are trying to get him out of the league. Whereas when you're seeing guys like Steph or maybe James Harden or whoever, or LeBron or whatever, if they were on bad teams, which Steph Curry is right now, it hurts more, because it's like, this superstar that we were never going to see again, really, is still good enough to play in the big moments. Steph Curry, if you put Steph Curry on a challenging, imagine you put Steph Curry with Jokic instead of Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray's balling out.
Crazy.
But do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like it's like, oh my God, this guy can't play anymore. We're just happy to see him. No, he is still arguably a top 10 player in the NBA right now. Arguably by you, Sam. Not by me. I think he's a top 10 player in the NBA.
You had him 8th.
Yeah, top 10. Anyway, so
I had him top 10.
So as I was saying, Steph Curry is still a top 10 player in the NBA. And it's like,
I agree.
Man, he's still ready to challenge. And it's like, when you're seeing younger players, like for instance, like a couple years ago when Cade was balling, but the team stinks, you're like, well, in the back of your mind, you're like, well, eventually, and you're young, maybe you get traded, or maybe you're going to get a chance. The other side of that is when you're Steph Curry, it's like, This is a waste of a 48-point game.
Yeah. We don't know how many of these we're going to get.
We don't know how many more we're getting, and you're wasting it. That's what it feels like. And I remember feeling like that about Bron a couple years ago. It's like, when LeBron was 36, we didn't know he was still going to be what he was after that.
Yeah.
But it's like, you're wasting this. We don't know how much more we have of this. So I can sympathize with Super Steph Curry fans and Warriors fans, but this is the way the NBA works, man. Only one team can be the team, and everyone else is just chasing. And I just don't see. And I now I understand why. Who the GM that left?
Bob Myers.
I understand. Thank you so much. Now I understand why Bob Myers left, because it's like he could see there's no real good way out of this. I'm going to have to make bad decisions. Those bad decisions are going to hurt the organization, but also those bad decisions might not even help us.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, and this is the thing with the NBA, man, I think you have many decisions to make, many minor decisions, some major decisions, but if you don't get those little decisions right, it can set you back years.
It can set you back for years.
You know what I mean? So where I think they messed up is
they should have blew it up.
No, even before that, bro. COVID. They tried to build youth at the same time as running a contending team.
Oh, yeah, they tried to do that dual
Jonathan Kuminga
window.
and James Wiseman should have never suited up for Golden State Warriors.
James Wiseman in particular.
Those picks should have those picks should have been traded and moved. They should have never been Warriors, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, Jonathan Kuminga and James Wiseman playing for the Warriors didn't give them that fourth chip. Just being honest.
No, it didn't.
Those picks should have been traded, packaged, wrapped up, and sent to whatever team would have wanted them for a PG, for whoever. And now we're having a different conversation. But you didn't do that. The value for these players have diminished. Everyone in the league knows you don't want Kuminga on this team. But you just can't let him go for nothing, so you're just paying him. But everyone knows that. So eventually, you're going to cut your losses, because if it's going to end up being even a media storm, because he's going to come out and say whatever and blah, blah, blah. And then you're going to basically sell him for peanuts anyway.
They're going to have to sell him for peanuts, because they're not giving him enough game time to up his trade value.
Yeah. So it's just now you're just here. You're just here. You're just a here team. You're just here. Like, you're not bad enough to be a lottery team. I don't even know if they got their picks, but they're not bad enough for that. You pay too many people for you to even accept that mediocrity, but you are mediocre. You're mediocre in a very, very tough West. Like, in the West right now, there's one big juggernaut in the OKC, and everyone else were like, okay, what can we do here? Like, the Nuggets are good. They're a good team, 18-6, but it's still a big question about, are you going to get past this juggernaut? The Lakers have had a great season, but it feels like every day we're just micro-picking any little bad thing about them, because we're talking about them beating OKC, which is like, well, as good as the Lakers are, I don't believe in it.
Yeah.
To beat the Warriors.
Even beating the Nuggets, man.
Exactly. Everyone's season, this is why we at the top of the show, we talked about why that Wemby performance is so important, because it's who they beat. So if you're already beating yourselves up, what chance do you have against the Thunder?
Right.
And that's what it is right now. So literally, honestly, the Warriors might as well be 15th. You might as well be, because you have there is no realm where you construct this team, change this team into something that's going to even compete, let alone do anything against the OKC. And that is what it is right now for these teams, in and around playoff positions. And it's just like the Warriors right now. If I'm a Warriors fan, I don't know what we do. I don't know if Steph Curry's the type to ask out. I think it would really suck for their organization and for that legacy. But they're putting him in a tough position, because he can still hang. He's not a slouch. He's not. This is not the last couple years, God rest his soul, of like Kobe, where it was like, okay, well, he's better than the guys he's playing with, but it's still like, we couldn't really build a championship winning team around you right now.
Yeah, so we're just going to rock out.
So,
Like Steph, if we're using, I mean, it's an unfair benchmark to use, but if we're using Bron as a benchmark, what if Steph is playing like this for the next 3 seasons?
Steph Curry is averaging 29 points a game right now. 29.6 points per game.
On 41% shooting from the field. From free, sorry.
Yeah.
From free.
Just 48% from the field, 41% from three. Like, if you compare that to some of his prime numbers, there's going to be seasons where he's played better. There's seasons where this season is better than some of his prime numbers.
From a scoring perspective, it's better than most of his seasons.
So, yeah, man, it's tough, man. But this is the NBA, man.
It's tricky for them. It goes back to what you said about Bob Myers. Like, I think one of the things he said was like the decisions were like effectively trade Steph or try and rebuild around him, and it's like they just weren't in a position where they could really rebuild around them. And obviously, another factor to consider is that who was trying to give the Warriors players at that point in time as well, where it's like, hey, go retool, go get another chip. Where it's like, no, you tormented us for years.
But this is why that draft is so bad. Because you lucked out via injury into being bad, and you had your pick, and you had 2 lottery picks, not just one. You had a second pick, and I can't remember where Kuminga was. I think 13th or 11th. You had 2 lottery picks, and you tried to do the 2 timeline thing when the only timeline that matters is Steph Curry's.
Steph Curry, yeah,
he's the only timeline that matters. And this is a lesson for teams out there. Don't try to have your cake and eat it. Because before Steph Curry existed, the Warriors had the We Believe Warriors. Then before that, we're talking about the teams with
Run
TMC, yeah, with Mitch Richmond.
Mitch Richmond, what's his name?
The lefty.
Buzzcut.
Yeah.
Mullen.
Yeah. Chris Mullen, Mullen, those guys, yeah.
And Tim Hardaway, I think.
Yeah. And then you had the We Believe Warriors with Steven Jackson and I want to say Jason Richardson. I might be wrong. Richardson. Yeah. Before that, we're talking about Wilt and them. Talking about Wilt and whoever and all these guys like that, black and white TV and stuff.
Literally.
Steph Curry this is a gift from the NBA gods. You're not the Lakers. You're not the Celtics. You don't get this every couple years.
Regardless of what that market value says.
Exactly. You don't get to perpetually live in and around the competition, in and around, every couple 10 years we're going to challenge. No, that's not your story. So when you get the talent like Steph, you build this and it's all about him. Because what you can then do is this. You build a fan base, you build a culture, like Dallas did with Dirk.
Like the Spurs did with Tim.
And then it's like, okay, well, this is what Dallas does. Like, again, even though they messed up with Nico and that, they got Luka, and it was like, okay, well, we're Dallas. This is what we do. You keep your legend close, and it's like you end up building something to where, But I just think they still can do that because I don't think Steph's gonna ask out. Yeah. But yeah, man, the only timeline that should have mattered was Steph's, man.
But from a culture standpoint, they've also kind of made because like you look at the Spurs. And the Spurs' whole thing is like, we'll take care of you. Like, you're one of ours, we'll take care of you, we'll build around you. We'll even protect you. Like, Pop will protect you from the whole NBA media landscape. And obviously, drop the ball a bit with Kawhi, but that seemed a lot more like an aberration. And to be honest, with time, that's kind of played out in their favor, where he's missed so much time and we have so much questions about his health that now the Spurs don't look as outrageous as they did back in 2018. When he ended up asking out. But now they're at a point where like they can continue to invite young players in and say, look, we can develop you here, you can develop here. Whereas with the Warriors, with Kuminga, with Wiseman, with Paul, like that's 3 examples in the last few years of you effectively giving up on young talent because you couldn't make it work. And it's like, that's not going to be the most, like even with Steph's legacy, it's like when Steph is no longer there, it's going to be trickier for you to convince players to come and work here when like you've had so many iterations. You've had one system that worked, but you also had so many different failures with players where you haven't been able to make it work. And now you've got Jimmy in this situation where if Jimmy starts getting vocal for real, like he has done at all of his other teams,
this Jimmy thing's gonna end one way.
Yeah, it can only end one way.
Yeah,
it can only end one way, and it was gonna end with a chip.
He doesn't do well in the bad times. That's not his thing.
No,
he's shown you how many times. Low key, the Bulls exit might be the nicest exit. I don't even know if that was nice.
That was the cleanest exit.
Everywhere else, it's been horrible. It's been horrible.
That's the only team that he consistently speaks well on.
Yeah, so yeah, man. And I even heard rumors, and we don't know for sure, but it's rumors that Draymond didn't sign off on the trade that would have made Larry Markkinen a Golden State Warrior. I don't know if it was they said no to getting rid of Pods. Pajemski.
I don't know what they said. I have a sneaky suspicion Draymond was in that trade.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or at the very least, he saw his minutes coming all the way down, and he was like, "No, thank you."
But yeah, man. But yeah, that's been another episode of the Smokehouse Podcast. Let us know what you thought about our takes. Let us know what you think about the NBA Cup. Let us know what you think about Wemby coming back. Is he the best player in the world right now? We'll see.
No.
But yeah, man, like, share, subscribe. Thanks for listening to another episode. And we'll catch you next time. Wow.
I appreciate you. Peace.